happened on live TV that the producers definitely didn't plan for. No shouting, no meltdown, just one calm question that completely changed the atmosphere in the studio. Within seconds, you could feel it, the pause, the tension, the moment everyone realized this wasn't going the way it was supposed to. Nigel Farage looked straight ahead and began laying out facts that Keir Starmer's team really didn't want discussed, and once he started, there was no stopping it. What you're about to hear explains why this clip is now blowing up everywhere, and why it could matter a lot more than people think. Welcome back to Power and Policy UK, the channel where we cut through the noise and break down the moments shaping British politics in real time. Today, we're diving into a live TV exchange that caught everyone off guard, as Nigel Farage challenged Keir Starmer in a way few expected. No spin, no filters, just a moment that's now sending shockwaves across Westminster. The moment happened in real time, no edits, no filters, and that's why it exploded across social media within minutes. Nigel Farage was sitting there, calm as ever, when the conversation suddenly turned toward Keir Starmer's record, his credibility, and the story Labour has been telling the public for months. What followed wasn't shouting, it wasn't theatrics, it was something far more effective, a methodical breakdown that left the studio noticeably tense. Farage didn't come in swinging. He let the discussion breathe, waited for Starmer's positions to be summarized, and then did what his supporters say he does best. He challenged the narrative rather than the person. Viewers at home could almost feel the shift when Farage leaned forward and began laying out a series of points that, taken together, painted a very different picture of the Labour leader than the polished image often presented on mainstream outlets. He started with Starmer's public messaging versus his past statements. Farage pointed out how Starmer has rebranded himself multiple times, moving from one political posture to another, depending on the audience of the moment. According to Farage, this wasn't evolution, it was calculation. He cited past interviews, leadership pledges, and policy positions that appeared to contradict current promises. The key wasn't any single quote, but the pattern. And once that pattern was laid out, it became hard to ignore. What really caught people's attention was the timing. This wasn't an old clip resurfacing online. It was happening live, with no chance for spin doctors to jump in and reframe it. Farage emphasized that voters are being asked to trust a man who, in his view, has quietly walked away from major commitments without ever properly explaining why. He framed it as a question of transparency rather than ideology, which made it land with a much broader audience. Social media lit up almost instantly. Clips began circulating with captions claiming Farage had exposed Starmer, while others accused him of selective memory and political grandstanding. But even critics admitted that the exchange was uncomfortable viewing for Labour supporters. The silence from the other side of the panel spoke volumes, and the presenter quickly moved the discussion along, a classic sign that something sensitive had been touched.
Farage then turned to leadership style, arguing that Starmer's approach is rooted more in legal manoeuvring than conviction politics. He suggested that Starmer's background has shaped a cautious, risk-averse style that may play well in controlled environments but could struggle under real pressure. According to Farage, Britain isn't looking for a manager right now. It's looking for a leader willing to take clear positions and stand by them, even when they're unpopular. This is where the conversation became truly divisive. Supporters of Farage saw this as a long overdue reality check, saying that Starmer's carefully managed image was finally being challenged on a big stage. Critics fired back, accusing Farage of hypocrisy and ignoring his own political reversals.
But regardless of where people stood, one thing was undeniable. The exchange struck a nerve. The most talked about moment came when Farage questioned whether Starmer genuinely represents change or simply a return to a familiar political class under a different label. He argued that many voters who feel disconnected from Westminster won't be fooled by new slogans if the underlying mindset remains the same. That line alone has been clipped, shared, and debated thousands of times, becoming the unofficial headline of the night. What made this moment so powerful wasn't just what was said, but how it was said. There was no shouting match, no dramatic interruption, just a steady delivery that forced viewers to think. In an era where politics often feels like performance, this felt more like a courtroom cross-examination, and that played directly into Farage's strengths. In the hours after the broadcast, labor figures pushed back, insisting that Starmer's positions reflect growth and pragmatism rather than inconsistency. They argued that adapting to new realities is a sign of maturity, not weakness. Meanwhile, Farage's supporters doubled down, claiming that this was proof the political establishment is vulnerable when challenged outside of scripted settings. Commentators across the spectrum weighed in. Some said Farage had successfully reframed the conversation around trust, a crucial issue for undecided voters. Others warned that moments like this can be misleading, reducing complex political journeys into viral sound bites. Still, even those urging caution admitted that the optics favored Farage in this particular exchange. What's fascinating is how one live TV moment can ripple outward, influencing days of coverage and countless online debates. This wasn't a policy announcement or a campaign launch, yet it may end up being remembered as one of those moments that subtly shifts public perception. Not because everyone suddenly agreed with Farage, but because he forced a conversation that many feel has been avoided. As the dust settles, the bigger question remains. Will this actually change minds, or will it simply harden existing loyalties? British politics is deeply polarized, and most voters already know which side they're on. But elections are often decided by a small group of people in the middle, and moments like this are aimed squarely at them. Whether you see Farage as a truth-teller or a provocateur, there's no denying his ability to command attention and set the agenda, even from outside traditional party leadership. And whether you support Starmer or not, the scrutiny he faced on that live broadcast is a reminder that no political figure is immune from tough questions, especially when the cameras are rolling and the country is watching. One thing is certain, this clip isn't going away anytime soon. It will be replayed, dissected, and argued over as the political temperature continues to rise. And in a media landscape driven by moments, not manifestos, that might be exactly why this live TV exchange matters more than it first appeared. You've been watching Power and Policy UK, where power is questioned and policy is put under the spotlight. If this moment made you think, hit like, subscribe, and share your take in the comments. Big political moments are unfolding fast, and we'll be right here breaking them down as they happen.